I absolutely love MMOs and I'm always rooting for them to thrive, especially ones from Korean developers. Sure, their monetization schemes can get a bit predatory, like in something like Black Desert Online, which is a phenomenal gameplay experience, but less so in terms of the cash shop. But Chrono Odyssey was the next game to release that a lot of people had high hopes for in the MMO community, and the initial teasers and trailers and footage we had seen looked spectacular. It looked so high quality. It looked so interesting. I mean, seeing scenes like this are absolutely gorgeous. And it's hard to not see something like this and go, oh, this could end up being really good. This was an image from the gameplay reveal. But unfortunately, now that the closed beta is going on, it is a bit of a different picture. Visually, it is wildly different in terms of the tone. It looks like maybe this game was developed in only a couple of years, and now they are also being accused of plagiarizing from New World, another game that I did give a chance to and I thought was pretty decent. It did have like quite a few problems. It wasn't a game that really stuck with me, though I know there's still plenty of people who are playing it now. But it seems that they had straight up copy and pasted some of the outposts within New World. It says the latest controversy is that the closed beta for Chrono Odyssey featured straight up stolen outposts and POIs from New World in the later areas. This paired with the devs lying about their connection to NPixel and fake gameplay reveal in 2023 are red flags too large to ignore, in my opinion, which I completely agree with. It's one thing when a game looks slightly different from what they initially showed, but you can still see that like there was a lot of passion put into it and they clearly just maybe didn't have enough time to fully execute it. But if it's like 80% of what they initially showed, I can look past some maybe rough textures or the areas being a little bit smaller than they initially showed off. But yeah, this is just straight up plagiarism, and that sucks to see because I and many other people had a lot of high hopes for this. But yeah, I mean, as these images go on, it gets closer and closer to being New World, and I actually really liked the aesthetics of New World. I thought that visually it was really solid. I just felt like they needed to put more time and effort into it, but some of these images look so similar. I would sit here and say, oh, well, they just slightly redecorate it with like different banners and different like crates and boxes and barrels. Because wow, do some of these shots look extremely similar. Like these two right here, they basically just said, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just, make sure you change it a little bit. It's honestly a bit scary to see these similarities because they were so confident in their theft. They really believed that nobody was going to notice it or that their player base was going to be so enamored with their game and be so in love with it that they weren't going to be called out or people were going to accept it. Like that is so depressing because there are other instances of plagiarism that happen in the video game industry that get called out, like with Marathon, right? But imagine if nobody noticed. That means other developers' hard work and effort would have gotten passed off as theirs, and these people who stole would have made money. Now, we don't know how big the team behind this game is. Maybe it was just like one or two or three people who ended up stealing it and putting it in this game, but you would think that for an entire outpost, they would have noticed because these people would have been playing the games that their competition made to try to see what really worked in these other games and what didn't work and listen to feedback. But yeah, I mean, this is just unforgivable in my opinion. And if you go over to the Chrono Odyssey Reddit, people are so disappointed with just what this beta has had to offer and what this game is doing in general. So I really hope this is a ultra mega old build of the game because oh boy, this needs a lot of work. I don't even think making this to the public and being able to stream it is good, man. If they want a horrible first impression for the game, they nailed it. This looks like a whole year to release. It's looking very rough. The lighting and movement animation in this game is probably the worst I've seen in 2 decades of gaming. Oof, yeah. It did look really rough. I personally did not test out the closed beta. I do not have any first-hand impressions but I have watched quite a lot of it now, and it seems really freaking bad. I don't know why they decided to even do this in the first place, or why they thought that this was like a good idea. I mean, even taking a peek on the official Chrono Odyssey subreddit, they have a pinned post that talks about excessively negative posts and doomers, and they don't want anybody being overtly critical about this game, which is definitely a major red flag in my opinion. So I'll be keeping my eye on this game to see how things go over the next few days and what people's kind of end impressions were from the beta, but it doesn't seem very good. And now we also have these plagiarism accusations being levied against them, and it just seems like Chrono Odyssey is going to be a game that faces major backlash. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.